Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today in this classic review, we're going to be taking a look at the G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, the O-Ring Quick Kick. And many of you that have been following me know my feelings on Quick Kick. Not my favorite figure, but he is part of the G.I. Joe line now. Unfortunately, I do not have his nunchucks. I do have his backpack and his sword. So we'll be able to take a look at that. If you are interested to see the other accessory that he does come with, which is his nunchucks, head on over to 3D Joe's. They do a wonderful job, an amazing comprehensive look at stuff. You can also still use yojo.com, although unfortunately that site's never going to be updated. But anyway, we're going to take a look at this guy. I know there's a lot of people that love this figure. I know this by doing the classified stuff. Some people loved them. Other people, like myself, didn't like them. I think Larry Hama didn't like him. We don't see him very much, and the best thing Quick Kick ever did was get beat up by Storm Shadow. If you know what comic I'm talking about, then good for you. But anyway, tell me a little story about this guy. Maybe this was the only martial artist that you had, or maybe you actually thought he could beat up Storm Shadow. He can't. He can't. But anyway, I want to hear a story about this. But you know what? Let's get into this right here. We'll go over everything that he has. But before we do, please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a classic review. All right, let's take a look at Quick Kick and see everything that he does come with. Again, I do not have the nunchucks, so if you want to know what the nunchucks look like, head on over to 3djoes.com. They have a wonderful, wonderful archive of everything. So quickly, I like to look at the weapons first. We'll take the sword out, and we can kind of look at the backpack. And this is a nice little backpack. This is exactly, I think this is perfect. They didn't do too many small backpacks like this, but we can see the little pouches right on the side here, the nice little detail. You also have the clip holding it down. I love, again, I'll say this over and over and over, I love all the detail that was put into it, making it look like it has wrinkles and everything. And then right here, we have a spot that the swords are going to fit through. Now, I always looked at this like, was this supposed to hold the nunchucks? Were you supposed to spin them and kind of fit them in there? I don't know. Most backpacks don't look like that. Then we get the sword here, and it has a real short handle. It does have the guard, and you can tell they tried putting some sort of grip on it just to make it look a little bit better. Nice long sword. I wouldn't call it pointy, but it's pokey. And then it just slides right down like this. This sword was always very flexible. So if you tried going the wrong way, it would go out like that. So I know for me, I always, whatever way it was bending, that's how you kind of got that in there. As for our Quick Kick here, this is not my original Quick Kick, I don't believe, because this one is in really minty condition. So quickly looking at his head here, he's got some nice hair. He has the nice bandana with the, I believe that is the Japanese star right there. Could be wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong, to be honest. It's just a circle with the white bandana going. But you look at the hair. They did a really good job on this hair, just the way they kind of detailed everything. And then you can see the little bow on the right back, on the back. Then you get down to his stomach here, his chest, and you have this nice sash that goes around. 3 throwing stars right inside there. Nice detail, nice paint to it. And again, looking at the sash here, you can just kind of see all the wrinkles in it. As for his chest, I don't know why they, I mean, this is really weird, especially someone who has spent time in the gym. His ribs are kind of shown right there, but he's got a nice six-pack. You can see his chest right there. He's got some nice triceps working all the way down, and then he gets his 2 little bandanas right there. Then we get down to his belt, and he has a much thicker belt. It's not a black belt, which I think probably would have fit perfect. But it's here, just holding these 2 little blue pouches. And then you get to his gi pants, which are short, like most martial artists' pants would be, but they are black, and you can see all the wrinkles to them. And again, I think they look really nice, a nice detail. And then you get down to his feet. All right, and you have the pegs in the back, and again, you can see his little toes. So now this thing's just gonna plug right onto the back like this. And for all intents and purposes, I guess the sash is what's supposed to be holding it. People lose their mind when backpacks don't have backpacks these days, or don't have straps these days to show how it's gonna sit. But looking at his face, I kind of forgot. You know, you have the eyes, you have the little dot, which is the same. Nice eyebrows, but everything on him looks really good. All right. As for his articulation, he has the ball joint head, so he can look down. He can't really look up, technically, but it can make him look like he's kind of facing up. And he kind of have a straight head right there. Every O-ring is going to have a perfect T-pose. They swivel at the shoulders. All right. 90-degree elbow bend with your swivel arm battle grip. You can turn side to side. If you're wondering what an O-ring is, it's that little ring right there. It's like an O-ring rubber band. But he can swivel back and forth, kind of move around just a little bit. I do not do the Jean-Claude Van Damme with this because I don't want to break the crotches, but it doesn't matter. This is what you're looking for, right? You're sitting here, you're trying to get him, and you get the perfect 90-degree bend, and then, of course, his knees can bend this way. Now, I've talked about stands. I'm not a fan of stands, but I fully understand them with 4-inch figures or O-rings, which are 3.75 figures. I still try not to use a lot, but let's say you want to get this guy into some karate poses. All right, you're definitely going to need a stand. It's going to be very hard to get these guys to stay on one foot for very long, if at all. But hey, look, there he did. There we go. As for a sword, it does slide into his hands fairly nicely, so you really don't have a problem right there. He can only do so much, and I will say it again, if you have any of these figures and you are having a hard time getting any weapon in their hands, don't pressure it. You do not want to break these thumbs, because every time a thumb breaks, that is one less of these in the world. Now, don't get me wrong, it helps me because it will help raise the price of, helps raise the value of the figures that I have, but that's not why I'm in this. But hey, if you want to go break all your thumbs, be my guest. So there you go. That is your classic quick kick. Time to wrap this up. All right, so there you go. That is my review of the classic Real American Hero, the O-ring quick kick. Maybe he's not as bad as I thought he was. But I mean, seriously, this guy's running around bare feet. And again, I just got the classified Night Force one where he actually has military garb on, at least the lower half. And he actually made me a light quick kick. So doing this a little bit later, maybe I don't hate him so much. Maybe I'll have to get an upper quick kick body and then some sort of lower half so I can have a Night Force quick kick that can actually go into battle. But anyway, tell me your story. Did you have this? Maybe this was the only one that you were able to get. Maybe Grandma and Grandpa got this for you. Maybe you got your cousin a Storm Shadow and your cousin got you quick kick and you never ever forgave your parents for that. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I want to hear your stories. Please leave them in the comments because that's what this is all about. Just taking yourself out of life for a little bit so you can kind of reminisce about being a kid. But before we do, please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a classic review. Now, don't go anywhere. I know what you're thinking. I need more of this. And these are short and sweet, something you normally don't do in your videos. Well, you know what? You're in luck. Right up here will be another review that I've done. And down here will be a playlist of all the classic reviews that I've done. Take care.